4, so therefore you would be, what, 24? So if you're older than 24, you knew a world before social media, right? So just bear with me in this exploration, right? And I was born in 1972, so I'm 46, right? So I know what the world was like growing up without phones, you know, all that nonsense, right? When people smoked, because that was the equivalent of it all back then, social media. So the reason is that back then, if you had a friend, they were a friend. There was no like ifs. You didn't unfollow people. You know, people weren't friends with you just because they knew you. They were friends, and you had a clear definition of who your friends were and who they weren't, right? Then along came social media, and they completely hijacked the word friend. It changed. Like, and even like the use of how we interacted with people, like if you like something, it was a heart, right? That's liking is not a heart, right? That heart button.
Like, that means love.
It means love, and love is love, right? And it's a unique feeling and emotion between people, like intimate or family or, you know, like good friends and so on. And it's real. Yet social media came along and hijacked that again, right? And so what's happened is all our sort of like what we've known for millions of years as Homo sapiens, and then what we've known as human beings in sort of like the modern man in the last 20 to 50,000 years in society, right? What we've known has been hijacked by social media in the last 10 to 12 years and changed the meanings, right? And a key part of that, I mean, you're talking this interesting thing about new conversations. A key part of that is we've always wanted connection, right? That, and they found, like, if you think about it, if you've done something bad in society, what do?
Lock you up.
They lock you up in a prison, right? And if you go to prison and do something really bad in prison, what do? Solitary confinement. There you go. So think about it. Solitary confinement is the worst punishment for the worst criminals out there. And isn't that fascinating that the worst punishment we could meet on people is to put them in a cell by themselves? Because what we crave more than anything as human beings is to be with each other, right? And that is part of our soul, part of our humanity, and that's what makes us human, that ability to connect and be with others. And social media has come in and hijacked that. And that is why, I'm going off on a rant here, but I thoroughly believe that is what podcasting is about. It's like, it's saying, fuck you. This is my chance to reconnect, to bring that back, to bring back some of the analog connection that we once had in our lives and make us human again. And it's creating that third person conversation, those campfire conversations that have been ripped out of our existence. We had those as kids, right? We sat around and we talked, and we sat around without people in a room looking at their phones. You know, we go down to the hawker centers. We sit there in Singapore. We sit there in Singapore, and we sit and we watch people, and we see them sitting there, 4 kids, like teenagers, or 4 students, or 4 office workers sit around a table having a meal. And when they finish their meal, what do?
Pull their phones out?
Yeah. And they sit staring at their phones, right? In our day, we sat and we talked.
Well, I'd like